All right, everyone. So now we're gonna move on to question 7. Let's first read the question. Pablo put 10 toy cars on this racetrack. How many cars are there in the tunnel? So for this question, we need to circle the important numbers as well. We have 10 cars in total, but how do I know how many in the tunnel? Actually, we need to observe the picture. And as you can see here, we don't know how many cars inside the tunnel, but I know outside the tunnel there are several cars. So we just count in order 1, 2, 3, and 4. That means we have 4 cars outside it. Then all the left gonna be where? They're gonna be in the tunnel, right? So we just need to use 10 minus 4. Then we know the answer is 6. So if we look at the number sentence itself, we know it is a very easy calculation. However, the challenging part is not about the calculation, it's about how we can come up with this number sentence, right? We need to find the key numbers within the question, and also we need to find out what are the numbers we know according to the picture. After we know all those known numbers, we can come up with the number sentence and figure out the answer. So that will be the challenging part. Analyze the question and also analyze the picture. So here, as we can see, for this question, it actually also aligns with the Common Core standards, and the knowledge point will be first, we need to solve the word problems involving addition and subtraction within 20. And also, we need to know how to solve the word problem, including the unknown values. So here it's all about calculation, and also the calculation actually comes from the word problems. However, if we see the school math, you will see all of the information will be very straightforward and obvious. For example, here, we don't need to do any analyzing. We just know the total will be 34, and we know 13 just swim away. How many left? 34 minus 13, right? So here for this question, you can see all of the information is very clear, and you don't need to analyze a picture. There's no other like obstacles in the school math word problems. So that will be the difference. School math, everything is just there. You just grab them and combine them together. However, for the Math Kangaroo word problems, you need to read it, you need to read the question, and also analyze what you know, and also figure out with what you know how to come up with a number sentence by yourself. That will be the key difference. So finally, we're gonna look at a very interesting question that is not actually mentioned a lot in the school math. So we're gonna call it like the logical reasoning and also like the real life problem. Let's first read the question and figure out what does it mean. Steven drives from X to Y. At each crossing, he stops before going straight ahead. So after reading this sentence, what is a keyword? Going straight ahead, right? In total, how many times does he stop at crosses? So here, everyone, what do I need to figure out? How many times he stop? So why does he stop? Every time there is a crossing, he gonna stop, right? So then we know here the relationship between the times of the stops is actually how many crossings he gonna face. So do you think I gonna just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? There are 7 stops, like 7 crossing here. No, as I mentioned before, when we look at this question, we need to relate to the real life to understand what does straight ahead mean, right? What does straight ahead mean? So if you look here, we can just take a try. Well, if I go all the way here, and then what does straight ahead mean? Do you think I'm gonna go up or go down? No, straight ahead means what? I'm gonna go here. So at this stop, I have 1 time, right? So I just continue. For this one, I do have a lot of like different branches, but where do I go? I still go ahead, right? This is my second stop. And then we move on to this crossing. What does straight go ahead mean? Go ahead, straight ahead is not turning around no matter how small the angle is, right? We're gonna go this way. Let me use another color. We're gonna go this way. See? So this is my third one. And then you will see, when I move on to the third one and I go along with it, what's gonna happen? Well, I need to turn around and move on to the stop again. But this time, what does straight ahead mean? Yes, I'm gonna move here, right? So for this stop, I have another stop again. For this crossing, I have another stop again. So we have 4. And then here, where do we go? Yes, 5, right? For this crossing, I stop and I go straight ahead in this direction. And what happened? Yes, I turn around and turn back to this crossing again. So I'm gonna stop one more time. So this is a 6th stop. And then what should I do? All right, I follow the route and then I'm gonna stop here at this stop, at this crossing again. So this is my 7th and I can go straight forward. And here, 8. But here, everyone tell me, 1, 2, 3, which one should I go? The middle one is a straightforward one, right? So that means I'm gonna go along this way. And here, the 9th crossing, I'm gonna go straight ahead. And here, stop again. And the 10th one. And finally, I turn around back here, which means I stop at this one, 11th, and then what? Very good. I'm gonna stop here again, 12th, and straightforward, 13th, and finally, I find the way, go straight ahead, and cross the 14th crossing, stop here, and straightforward. So in total, I know how many times? Actually, we need 14 times. So for this question, we cannot just go ahead. We need to understand what does straight ahead mean. That is, not turning around. Just follow the route as it is, not turn to the left side or the right side. So that's why for the same crossing, I might come across for more than one time. So that's why when we do this question, we need to use our fingers to track our route and find the answer. It is 14. So here, if we come back to the school math, we can take a look at the Common Core standard. It's more like a what? Choose the right route, right? And then it is actually similar with the past following and also counting and reasoning. So it's something we're going to learn in the first grade about how to solve the problems involving counting and representing quantities. For example, we need to see into count how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4. And for the question in the Math Kangaroo problem, it will be how many stops we have. So to count this how many stops there are, we actually also need to equal to how many crossing there are, right? So we have another different gap. That is the number or the times of the stops gonna be the times we cross the crossings. And beside that, it is also something related with like the counting strategies to solve word problems, including following specific paths and sequences. So with this similar knowledge point, we can take a look at the examples in our school math. For example, if we want to trace like the path, you will see it is very straightforward and it's easy. The only difference is like we have like the different circles and the curved way, right? And when we want to find the puzzle or the maze here, we don't have so many like the different crossings. It's more about we can follow the route and figure out how many mushrooms there are, right? So it's more straightforward and we just need to use a finger to trace the pathway. That's enough. So see, we can take a look at and compare the school math problems and the Math Kangaroo problems. It's always about more steps and more thinking and also more complicated settings in the Math Kangaroo.